We go down under for round 2 of the 1998 Fedex CART Championship powered by X. However, we are not back at Surface Paradise, as we are visiting the Adelaide Street Circuit for the very first time in kart history. Adelaide has been a part of the Formula 1 World Championship from 1985 up until 1995, before it moved to the Albert Park Street Circuit from 1996 onwards. And because the kart organizers couldn't negotiate a deal with the organizers of Surface Paradise, we are now starting Adelaide, a track liked by the drivers. This track is 3.780 km long and consists of 16 turns, 7 to the left and 9 to the right. Be careful with your approach of turns 1 and 2, because the curbs can easily cause some spins and accidents. Turn 10 is also a troubled corner, as once again the curbs can cause some accidents if drivers are not careful enough. After the season opener in Fontana, the Drivers' Championship looks like the following. Emmanuel Barpé won an intense season opener and takes the lead of the championship ahead of a surprisingly quick Mario Wolf in second. Vitorino Capatapi is third ahead of Polo Moya, and another surprise in the form of Milan Andres. Then we have the Finn Kasper Klein, who also took the season's first pole position and gained an extra point in 6th, followed by Capatapi's teammate Chad Samuels and Klein's teammate Andy Graham. Jamie Metcalf and Aidan Carter are in a joint 9th position after Carter's fastest lap gave him an extra point. Behind him are Scotta Kai Soddington and Danny Quinn. In the team's championship, Team Rahal took the early lead, 4 points ahead of Chip Ganassi, followed up by the surprise of the weekend, Arkeo Wells Racing. Then we have Team Green in 4th, Pac West Racing starts the season from 5th, followed by another Toyota powered team in the form of the All-American Races outfit from Dan Gurney. The final point scoring teams are the Tasman Motorsports Group, Patrick Racing and Newman Haas. Ford took the early lead in the engine championship thanks to Barpé's win, followed by Toyota, Honda and Mercedes. And in the chassis championship, Renault took the maximum 20 points ahead of Swift, who only scored 4 points, whilst Lola scored none. In practice, it seems like Toyota engine cars suffered massively, as all Toyota drivers struggled with the pace and engine power. Meanwhile, Penske seemed to have found something, as Robin Berger was able to set some competitive times near the front. Dustin Rocco, however, is still struggling with the car, as he was not able to replicate the times of his teammate. The third Lola of Johannes Melis was massively criticized for his poor driving in Fontana, but so far, his driving has been faultless. But the strongest cars seem to be the Chip Ganassi cars and Jason Gabler in a four-side Renault Mercedes. All 3 cars looked really quick in practice, so those are the ones looking like the one to beat. And with practice out of the way, let's take a quick look at the starter grid for the race. On pole we have the Italian driver Vitorino Capatapi and his rival Jason Gabler by 0.02 of a second, so it was a really close session between these two. On row 2 we have Justin Peters and Scotta Kai Soddington, nearly being 2/10 behind the pole time. On row 3 we have Chad Samuels and Andy Graham setting the exact same time, but with Samuel setting the time early in the session, he gets 5th. On row 4 we have 2 Newman Haas drivers in the form of Danny Quinn and Stephen Sim. On row 5 we have Aidan Carter, the fastest Rahal car, and then we have Duncan Robinson, the fastest Pac West car. On row 6 we have Emmanuel Barpé, the winner of Fontana, alongside Jason Gabler's teammate John Newhouse, who was 5/10 behind his teammate. On row 7 we have the fastest Penske car, Robin Berger, alongside Harry Williams, who was also struggling against his teammate. On row 8 we have Kasper Klein, also struggling massively against his teammate. Alongside him is the German driver Dustin Rocco. On row 9 we have Jamie Metcalf, and then alongside him is the Spaniard Polo Moya. On row 10 we have Tommy McIntyre and Carson Ovegafa. On row 11 we have the fastest Toyota powered car in the form of Danila Savnov, and then alongside him is another Toyota powered car in the form of Milan Andres. On row 12 we have Johannes Melis alongside his German compatriot Mario Wolf, and then alone on row 13 we have Julian Schulz being over 2 seconds slower than Capatapi. And with that, we go into a short commercial break before we start the race.
You Morty Briskin?
Who's asking?
Had a hard time finding this place.
Dear Mort, you have been accepted to Harvard University and awarded a scholarship. Congratulations on all your accomplishments. You must respond, however, by May 1978.
Better late than never.
Next time, be absolutely sure. Don't just send it FedEx.
See you in September.
We're back here in Australia for the 1998 edition of the fastest Grand Prix of Adelaide. Well, the start is coming up soon in a few seconds, and I already can't wait. The crowd is here, and we can't wait for the cars to go out here. And the fastest Grand Prix has been started, and who gets the shot? It looks like Kawatapi gets the jump. Yes, he does. He retains his lead from Gabler, and of Justin Peters, Soddington, Samuels, Graham, and Quinn. Good stop, everybody. No big incidents, apart from some small banging here between the top guys. As the field approaches now the tighter sections of the circuit, and Kawatapi and Gabler will lead the field into the long straight, which is a good overtaking opportunity here for some. I mean, if you manage to have a good exit here through this right-hander, just look at the curb. It's definitely massive, and you really need to be alert, and you really need to get this corner quite well to make the pass. But Gabler doesn't, so he has to back out of it. But now look behind. We had Robert Berder, who's trying to go for a move against John Newhouse. And Newhouse hits the curb on the outside. This costs him a bit of speed, and Berder is through up into 12th position. Up into the points paying positions at the moment for the German, who has said that the Penske team is working really hard to make the car more competitive. But changes don't come overnight. They have to be earned after a long, hard journey. So we keep an eye out the Penske crew throughout the season. If they can at least scrap the podium, maybe even win a race here with the Lola chassis. Yeah, Lola have struggled 2 years. We had a near bankruptcy of Lola in 1997 thanks to their F1 journey. And, well, now they are in the rebuilding phase. They need the time, they need the budget, and they can be glad that Penske is willing to help them out with the development of the chassis. And maybe during the season, things will go into the right direction, as Gabler had a look into the right-hand side, into the inside line, as he looked for an overtaking opportunity. We have a bit of a problem with the cameras a bit. They tend to glitch out a bit, so I already apologize in advance. I hope it really doesn't affect the race too much. So, yeah, unfortunately, I can't fix it. It's not in my hands, so you kind of have to live with it. As harsh as it sounds. So, well, we go back to racing, and we have a look at Justin Peters. I had a disappointing first race here for Walker Racing, but the road package seems to be quite strong, and a third place wouldn't be too bad. But Soddington for Patrick Racing is pushing hard, really hard. He replaced Adrian Fernandez, who did some testing for the team prior to Fontana, and it really shows the chassis is quite strong, and it seems to be working quite well here on road courses. So it's cool to see the mixes here of the different conditions. So, oh, hang on, we're gonna have an overtaking opportunity here. Nope, Gabler's backing out of it. But what I wanted to say is that it's cool to see differences between Fontana and Adelaide. We have some teams near the front who weren't competitive at Fontana at all. And whilst guys like Emmanuel Papé, who won the Fontana race, are struggling here to get in the top 10. So it's quite cool to see, and it might make the season even more interesting. And especially with the return of the Indianapolis 500 and the season finale Daytona, it could definitely screw some guys over, or it could help some. So I really can't wait to see how it turns out. But right now we are here in round 2 of the championship. We are following Mbappé, who's struggling to make the overtake against Robinson. And yeah, that's basically how it turns out at the moment. Also, watch out for Robert Berger. He's closed the gap to Mbappé. And yeah, if those guys there aren't careful enough, then Berger can make the jump and overtake both of them. So you really need to be careful here with him. So he could really throw a spanner in the works. As maybe now Berger is looking for an opportunity, but Mbappé does too. He covers up Berger, but he cannot make the jump against Robertson. So he's stuck in 11th position. As the field moves on throughout this tight but enjoyable street circuit, it has to be said, drivers love it here, and I mean it was a good addition to the calendar. Let's be honest. Jim Metcalfe is the car we're following here in the Tesla Motorsport Group's Swift, the Brit who has surprised many people here with his performance in testing and of course in Fontana. He's done a decent job, I would say, and yeah, he's looking forward to the next couple of races, and maybe he will surprise a few more people with his consistency and maybe with his speed. But of course, with the Swift, it isn't easy. It has to be said, Reinhardt is still the king in terms of chassis. But with a bit of development, things can definitely change. But just look how close Metcalfe is to Moya, who finished in top 5 last time out, the Spaniard, I think. Or who was close to finishing top 5. So Moya is definitely one of the stronger guys on ovals, it seems. Not really much speed here on the road courses at the moment for him. As Metcalfe tried to have a look into the inside, but it didn't work out. That's probably the most frustrating part for the drivers, to be stuck behind a slow driver for so long. Can definitely anger them quite a lot. But that's racing. You need to find a way cleanly. As in background we see some battling here between the Lola of Johannes and the Reinhardt of Milan Dres. So we have some good battling here going on anyway. Even though it's at the back. But well, it is what it is. They're all racing for positions, and that's probably fair. They're all allowed to race each other, so and they all deserve some TV coverage, even if it's at the back. Oh, look at how wide Milas goes through the corner. He nearly clipped the barrier here, so he needs to be careful with his driving. But so far, his weekend has been clean, so... Oh, but look at how aggressive he drives over the curbs. He really is quite aggressive here at the moment. But let's hope it doesn't backfire for him. So we'll see. We go back to the midfield. We have Emmanuel Mbappé again. As Roberto dropped back a bit. So he's lost a bit of time against Mbappé and Robinson. And move back to Metcalfe again. Ooh, he had a slight look at Moya, but of course his exit wasn't good enough. As Milas lost the position against Dres, I think. So he must have made a mistake there. Look at Novigafa and McIntyre. Oh, there, that was close in between these two. That's a risky spot to overtake there, or to defend. The first two corners with the high curbs. It's definitely not the brightest idea to overtake there. So, this could have ended up in tears. As we move back to the leading pack, as Cavatapi has gained quite a lot of time against Gabler. So Jason is definitely not able to keep up with the Italian in the Chip Ganassi car. Quite a good performance here for him, who has always shown in Fontana that he's definitely one of the title favorites, but now in Adelaide, so far, things are looking quite good for him. So he can further strengthen his ambition to win the championship against his rivals. But Of course, the race is long. 41 laps is the distance, and the drivers have to be calm and collected. And of course, they have to think about the pit start strategy as well. So we should be expecting pit stops at around lap 20 or so, or even earlier or later. But this should be the pit stop window. As we go back to the back of the pack with the Lola of Johannes Miles, who has angered quite a lot of people here in Fontana with his driving on ovals, but on road courses it seems to be quite solid. He hasn't annoyed quite a lot of people here. And his team boss is also happy with his performance so far, and he hopes for further improvements throughout the season. As we go back to the front guys, Soyton had a small look into Peters. Maybe at the back we see an overtake. Nope, it looked like it, but it didn't happen for Graham. Also solid performance of Danny Quinn in a moment. Aiden Carter, it seems like, has passed Stephen Sim here for 8th. So we finally have an on-track overtake here. And we see a replay of that. We go on board with Carter. And let's see how he's done it. So he pulled out to the right. He had a good top speed against Sim. Yeah, he was already quite alongside him. He broke late and he made the job work. He get the job done and he's passed Sim for 8th position. That's how we do it here around this place, folks. As we go back to live pictures, and we go back to Andy Graham in the Team Green car. He was a bit off the pace against his teammate Kasper Klein in Fontana, but right now it seems like he has picked up his momentum, and he's now the one carrying Team Green on road courses. So good performance by Graham so far, who's hit the rear tire of Samuels there. Hopefully it hasn't caused any sort of damage for him, but it doesn't really seem like it at the moment. So yeah, as I mentioned, quite a different packing order here in comparison to Fontana, with some guys struggling and with some guys performing extremely well. As we see Bape again, one of the guys who struggle quite a lot at the moment. As we see another on-track overtake, this time in the form of Johannes Miles, going for a move against, I think it's Andres. He goes on the inside, and he locks up the brakes here for a little moment, and he still makes the move work. So that's hopefully another place for the German driver. I apologize for this. Right then, we are on lap 10. So 10 laps have passed, and we got quite a good race distance left to go. And we see Bape still close to Robinson, as Sim is looking for a comeback against Carter, but will it work? Nah. I think it doesn't work for both guys. So for Sim it hasn't worked, for Bape it hasn't worked. Yeah, as I mentioned, it's tough to pass when you haven't got the top speed on the main straight, but it's not impossible, to be honest. It's not impossible, as you saw from Aiden Carter. And look at this train here for, I think it's 16th position. So it's Dustin Rocco holding these guys up quite a lot, in fact. So Rocco, who's really struggling for pace here in his Penske Lola. Yeah, he's not doing a good job at the moment in comparison to his teammate. So he really needs to pick up the pace here, because the captain, Roger Penske, surely isn't happy with the current performances of his team. So, well, if things aren't going right, he's not afraid to do some changes to make it work. So Dustin really needs to pick up the pace if he wants to have a good shot, a long-term future at Penske. As we look at Moya's Pac West Mercedes powered car, Well, last year Pac West was quite strong. This year it seems like they are a bit struggling here in comparison to last season. There were front runners there with Blondell and Gugemin, as we see some more on-track action here with Metcalf and McIntyre, thanks to the camera glitching out. Pac West, a front runner last season. It seems like they're struggling this season with the new package of the Reynard chassis and with the new Mercedes engine. And so far the only team who's got the job right with the Mercedes powered car seems to be the Forsyth crew and only Jason Garber's crew. So they're definitely the guys to beat in the moment in the Mercedes camp. As we look at Carson Novigaffa, part of the Peyton Coyne racing team, a back marker ever since they came back to Champ Car. And they are being followed by another back marker, Johannes Mielis in the Davies Racing Lola. But Mielis is struggling quite a lot with the forms with the balance of his car. He's sliding a lot here, and he's quite aggressive with the curbs. So that's not a greatest of signs, to be honest, as McIntyre is looking for another opportunity against Metcalf, but he doesn't make it work. Should maybe look further up ahead with Stephen Sim, another Swift driver. He didn't have the best performance in Fontana, but so far looks good for the Swift crew, for Newman Haas especially, as they have 2 drivers in points. Danny Quinn ahead of Sim. Yeah, but so far not a bad performance from Stephen Sim. So the gaps are definitely interesting. So you can clearly see the difference between the front runners and the back markers. Look at Kawatapi's gap to Jason Gabler. It's incredible how dominant he is at the moment. So his road course package is really strong here. So wow, I'm impressed. As look at Sim here. What was that? He just clipped Carter's back for some unknown reason. I mean, genuinely, I don't know what he was doing there. He was just clipping the back for some unknown reason. But, oh, look at Bape here. He must have made a move against Robinson at one point, and he's now right behind Sim. So that's a good thing for Bape. He's now up at the top 10, and he might be able to score more points if things keep on going like that. But, of course, don't forget the pit stop phase, where everything can change for the drivers. For good or for worse. It's really tight in between all these guys, but yeah, overtaking really difficult here. And just look at the packs here in this Grand Prix. So you have Carter there all alone here at the moment, and you have Sim now having to defend from Bape. Will he come back here on the inside? Bape? Nope, he backs out of it. But there was a first sign that Sim really isn't that quick here in the moment, and he needs to pick up the pace. And now we have the 2 Swift cars battling in the back with another slight love tap between McIntyre and Metcalf. As I think Milius also made the jump against Carson Novigaffa. So he's up into the top 20 here, the German. As Novigaffa is dropping back into the clutches of the Toyota powered cars. We have a shocker race here after the good performance of Fontana. Really poor performance by all the Toyota cars. But maybe Fontana was a fluke? We don't know at the moment. And just look at where Rolf is. He isn't even seen on the screen. So pretty terrible performance here by Wolf at the moment. The second driver of the Akira Wells racing team. Yeah, he had a strong race here in Fontana after he had some massive setup changes before the race, which he tested in warm-up, and he was the second quickest guy in there in warm-up, and he made it work in the main race. But here, nothing seems to work out, as Danny Quinn now is in the clutches of Andy Graham. Just look at that difference here between these two cars, and the different chassis concepts. I personally think that the Swift chassis looks a bit cooler, I think, you know. I do like the Swift. I mean, just look at the form of it. It kind of has something. And, you know, that's not really performance effective at the moment, but, you know, Quinn definitely seems like a bit quicker at the moment in comparison to Graham, who's dropped back against Samuels. And also look at the gap between Peters and the front runners. It's 11 seconds. So, as I mentioned in the preview, yeah, the Ganassis and the Forsyths, they are quite strong here. And especially Jason Gabler is strong in the Forsyth camp in comparison to John Newhouse, who's currently in P13. So, the difference is strong, it has to be said. As once again Quinn goes for the right hand side, will be enough for an attack here against Graham. It doesn't look like it. He's backing out already. Yep, it is enough at the moment. As we move on and on and on. We are currently in lap 16. We are approaching lap 17. As John Newhouse had a look as he dropped back a position, in fact, against Harry Williams. So his race is going from bad to worse at the moment. And that's quite disappointing for Forsyth. I mean, I'm sure they expected a bit more out of him. And so far he's struggling against even Harry Williams in the second Patrick Racing car. And that's not really good for the team's championships hopes. We go back to Jet Samuels, the teammate of Vittorino Capotappi. And yeah, Samuels, he's struggling against Sultan at the moment, struggling to make the move against him to maybe catch up to his teammate a bit. We know how quick the Ganassi is, but is Samuels quick enough? That's the big question. He can't make the move stick. Same goes for Quinn against Graham again. And they're currently stuck in 5th and 7th, respectively. As we see the first pit stop here on the left-hand side, it's Jason Gabler who's going to be the first pit stop of the race. Same for Aiden Carter. They are both pitting. So let's keep an eye out for these guys. They will definitely be interesting to watch here, as Gabler already exits the pit lane. So I'm not sure how he will do the strategy. If it will be a 1-stop or 2-stop. I guess it will be a 2-stop. But I'm not sure if that works. As now Gabler is stuck behind, I think that's Bird and Robertson. That's not really the best place you want to be in if you're a quick guy like Jason Gabler. This is not really the best position. He's now getting held up by these two, and he will lose quite a lot of time to Capotappi. And maybe, in a worst case scenario, he will lose more time against Justin Peters. So, not really sure if that was the best call for him. But where's Carter? Don't really see him in the top 17 at least. As Berda is now going to the right hand side. Gabler is taking the slipstream as much as he can. But making an overtake might be a bit risky. Oh, there was some contact there. Robin takes the inside curb. Gabler takes the outside curb. And is going for the move. He's on the inside. And he sends Berda onto the grass. But that's a clean overtake by Jason Gabler. Good job there by him. Crucial for him. And now Capotappi is in the pits. Where does he come out? That's a big question. As Papay goes ahead. And alongside Capotappi, you have Sonic in the pits. Robertson is even pitting. So Where's Kawatabi? He isn't... Sonic is exiting the pits. Okay. But where's Kawatabi? Where is he? He doesn't exit the pits, so it seems like he has some sort of issue in the pits. Oh, that's unfortunate for him. He will lose the lead. He will lose quite a lot of time. And I think that's his race over. That's his race over. Any hopes for a race win are shattered in a mere seconds. We can't really see what's going on here for Kawatabi, but it seems like a very long pit stop. Oh, that is an open invitation for Jason Gabler to be a new theoretical race leader, as Berner was trying to hang on, but well, it didn't work out for him. Not really the brightest idea it was from Berner, because he really needs to focus on his own race. He knows how quick Gabler is. One of the quickest guys here in this race weekend. As we go back to Jamie Metcalf, who is currently ahead of Sollington, who has the chance to score a podium here because of the misfortune of Kawatabi. There he is! He's finally exited pit lane, and he's now dead last. He's lapped, and Serhu's race is definitely ruined as Moya entered the pit lane as well. Oh damn, what was that? Oh, that's Kawatabi! He clipped the outside wall, and he's now causing quite a lot of chaos. He's going wild. He's going sideways. Oh, that's his race going from bad to worse. Oh, I can't believe what he just done. He's caught, but how big is the damage for Kawatabi? Oh, what a shame for him. He was so dominant at the beginning of the race, and now he will be passed, and he will be lapped by so many drivers, and he's causing quite a lot of chaos. Look at that, Kawatabi, he doesn't go away. And now look at that, Metcalf has overtaken McIntyre. Oh, look at the chaos, they're going sideways. They're going 3 wide into the hairpin. This can't work, guys. But it somehow did. McIntyre has passed Kawatabi, as now Sollington is getting held up. And that could be hurting Sollington's chance of a podium, as he now passed Kawatabi. Oh, that was so unnecessary. Why didn't Kawatabi just go away and just let him all go? That was so dumb. As I think now Midas entered the pit lane. We have now Chad Samuels in the provisional race lead position. But he still needs to stop, so that's why I only say provisional. As this is a big invitation for Jason Gabler to inherit the lead and to take the race win. As right now we have Kawatabi holding up Novi Gaffer and one of the Swift cars. I think it was Sim. I mean, it would make sense. He is right behind Novi Gaffer. But we now look at Tommy McIntyre, Johannes Mies, Emma Bappe all doing a pit stop. As we now look back at Kawatabi, who is still trying to continue. Oh, does he? Oh no, that's a big crash. This Kawatabi and Sim out. They're both out of the race. And it's surely going to be a caution. Oh, this is going to hurt quite a lot of races, I fear. Oh, this is a big mistake there by these two guys. Oh, that's McIntyre doing... What? What is he doing? I think he's stuck, guys. Oh, no, he's continuing. Okay. Okay, so that's surely going to be a caution, as we will find out in a few seconds. I mean, it has to be a caution. Look at the parts flying around on the hairpin. It was a huge shunt, and yeah, that's the end for Sim and for Kawatabi. It's a shame for Stephen Sim, who did a great job here in the race so far, but now he once again leaves Adelaide with 0 points. A big shame for Newman Haas as well, as they were doing so well. Well, now we have Samuels in the pits. But this could help these guys out in terms of track position. Andy Graham, Danny Quinn, those guys, they will definitely profit from it. As now Jason Gabler will be the new race leader. There comes Ernest Miles, he will be left. And this could also help Robin Berner and basically everyone who needs to stop to complete their mandatory pit stop. Well, that will shake up the race surely. As we now look at the race replay, so we need to see what happens with Kawatapi. Oh, that was just... I would simply call it brain fade. I mean, you know, I don't know what this issue was. Maybe cold tires? Maybe anything broken, I think? Something must have happened to him, but... that was so weird. Why would he not turn in there properly? But this all but surely ruined his race. Sent him to retirement, and I hope he's okay from this massive shunt. And look at that. I mean, you can't say that this wasn't Kawatapi's fault, because, you know, Sim just simply turns in and they both retire. So, yeah, a massive shame for these guys. A massive shame from Stephen Sim, as he now once again leaves this track with 0 points. Also Kawatapi, who's dominated the race in a big fashion, who will now leave with 0 points. So, now Jay's the race leader, and I think it's now time for our commercial break. But beforehand, if you like this type of content, then please subscribe to my channel, and I guess we'll see us in a few minutes.
To help capture the realism for Kart World Series, Archero Wells driver Max Pappas let us take his car out for a spin.
How's she feel?
Feels pretty sweet. The sequential gearbox is amazing. I don't even have to get off the throttle to shift.
Beautiful, you're doing great.
I'm still getting a little push in turn 2.
We'll put one turn into the front wing.
Hey, I can see you guys now. Wave. Hello. This is smooth riding. I wish it had a cup holder. That would be nice.
PlayStation.
Rule 1995. During practice and the race, the driver may use only the track. Rule 511. Spraying of water or any substance whatsoever is forbidden. Rule 76B. The scrutineers may require the car to be dismantled by the competitor. Formula 1 98 rules. Official.
Beyond commitment, beyond skill, beyond violated pitches, beyond crushed egos and half-time keel haulings, beyond raging hordes praying for your failure, beyond desire, beyond belief, there is France. FIFA Road to World Cup 98. The only goal is to qualify. If it's in the game, EA Sports is in the game.
We're back here in Adelaide for the fastest Grand Prix of Australia, and we're awaiting the race start in a few seconds with Jason Gabler leading the field ahead of a lap car of Johannes Miles. Then we have Casper Klein in second and Chad Samuels up to third. So we've got a different field here at the moment after all the pit stops have been done. As the race restarts now with Jason Gabler leading the field ahead in lap 25 out of 41. And let's see, I think Gabler will be untouchable if we can judge his early race pace. Maybe even the lap car trying to follow him here, but I'm not sure if he can keep up his pace. But we should be focused on the midfield or the back of the field, or even the mid-front field, whatever you want to call it. because there we can expect some good battles here between the guys. As Gabler already pulls out a nice gap to Klein and Chad Samuels. As the camera is bugging once again, I already apologized for that before, but I can only apologize for it again. And we see Samuels, who clipped the rear tire of Klein, but thankfully nothing happened this time, unlike with Kawatapi and Sim. So, thankfully, no big deal. We go back into the midfield, I guess, judging by the cameras. Yep, we go back to John Newhouse in the other Forsyth run car. And we see Emmanuel Pape in P22. So I guess what happened is that guys like Miles, Pape and McIntyre got screwed over by the pit stop. So by the caution as well, because they couldn't unlap themselves. And that means that their race is automatically screwed. So they're basically just driving without any hopes of scoring a good position. It's Klein. Klein is out of contention right now. It seems like he's done a pit stop or something, because he's now out of contention and he's now out of the leading pack. What a dumb decision by the team. I mean, why wouldn't you just try and help Klein staying there in the front pack and helping him with the points? I mean, you know, whatever. I don't understand the decision, but it is what it is. So we move back to Justin Peters and the other guys, as Robert Berger is now up to 6th ahead of Soddington. So Robert Berger showing once again that the Penske-Lola combination is working well in the hands of him. But also Dustin Rocco has done a good job here. He's up into P10. And if he keeps this up, this will be a good day for Penske. As we go further back on the field, we have guys like... Yeah, there we have Kasper Klein down in P20. So he either has done a pit stop or he has done a crucial mistake. As Mario Wolf is now entering the pit lane. Just odd, but anyway. Maybe just a quick splash and dash or something or whatever. I don't really understand their strategies. But we go to Harry Williams, who's also progressed a bit thanks to the pit stops and the caution. He's up into P9, just ahead of Rocco and behind Aiden Carter. So a decent step up from Williams, who's now looking for some couple of points here for Patrick Racing. But he can't make the attack on Aiden Carter just yet. His pace seems to be solid here at the moment, but not good enough that he can make the attack on Carter. Yeah, the front field seems to be sorted. We have Gabler in the lead, as now Miles is letting Samuels go by. So it seems like Chad has found some pace. And he's now up ahead of the lap car and is trying to make some ground up against the Forsyth of Gabler. Maybe he can recreate the superb pace that Kawatapi showed and maybe catch up to Gabler again and fight for the victory, I wanted to say. As we go back a bit further than the grids, we have Andy Graham fighting for his first podium of the season against Justin Peters. And it's looking good for Justin at the moment. He's keeping him at bay. And if he keeps this up, this will be a good day for Walker Racing. What a turnaround it was from Fontana. But now Graham is alongside him, but he can't make the move stick. Just like Berger against Danny Quinn as well. Yeah. As if I look correctly on the leaderboard, we have Williams now in P8. Was past Aiden Carter, so that's another position gained by the Patrick Racing driver. A decent step up from Fontana for these guys, as now two drivers are scoring some decent points, maybe for the team. Would be important for the team's championship as well, but we do find out after lap 41. We still have a good way to go. We don't really expect many pit stops now anymore, except for some crazy strategies. But yeah, I don't really expect any pit stops now for any driver here in the field. I think they should be all good to go, and that's that. Currently the fastest Toyota driver, the highest placed Toyota driver right now is Danila Savnov in 16th. Ahead of Mina Drees in 17th, and well, what a big disaster for the Toyota crew. I mean, we had some voices from the Toyota department. They are trying to work hard on improving the car and the engine for it, and yeah, it's going to be a tough weeks for the Toyota powered cars, as long as there's no solution, they will definitely struggle for pace on these type of circuits. As we have here Kasper Klein rather driving alone here in 18th place. He is ahead of Julian Schulzauer, which is not too bad, I guess, but yeah, his race seems to be screwed. But what can these guys say? Tommy McIntyre, he is currently behind Julian Schulz, and I think it's Schulz, should be Schulz, yeah. But he cannot find a way through. But yeah, his race is also severely compromised by the caution. So he's definitely not in the best spot just yet. But he got a nice looking car. That's a big advantage for him, I guess. I think this Budweiser color seems to fit the chassis quite well. And also Emmanuel Mbappé, he really got screwed over, and that will definitely hurt his championship chances. But yeah, he can be lucky to be still in the race, unlike Kawatapi, who has retired. But I think this won't make Mbappé any happier. As now McIntyre sees an opportunity to go by Schulz, maybe? Nope, he doesn't. Already now on the inside, he's now on the outside line, however, which isn't really a big plus. Nope, he doesn't make the jump. So we have, yeah, we got a nice mix in terms of new guys who could score some, who could score their first points of the season, and we got some screwed over guys who definitely look forward to revenge next time by in Buenos Aires. This will be the next race in the calendar. It will be a bumpy circuit. That's all I can say in the moment for that. As now, if you look on the gaps, we see Samuels being quite close to Gabler. So we might have a battle for the lead here on this circuit. So keep an eye out for Samuels and Gabler. This could be a battle until the end. And, well, will be Samuels, will be Gabler? And if so, where does he make the jump? If Samuels wants to make the pass. It's all pretty tight here. It's nearly possible to pass here. You really need some big cojones to go by here. But I think none of these drivers have the balls to attack here. They all try and play safe and to make the car go until the end of the race. Also interesting to see that the lap car is not that far off the pace. So it seems like the Lola has done a decent step up from their testing results. As now Samuels had a look on the inside, but he didn't make the lunge. So Chad Samuels, the American driver who, let's say, had a decent opener, but not a spectacular one. Yeah, he's wearing the number 1, just like his compatriot Jimmy Vasser did in 1997. But he lost out against Alex Zanardi in 1997. So now this would be Alex Zanardi's car. But now it goes to Chad Samuels, which is a bit of a coincidence. Because Samuels is an American and Cavatapi is an Italian. And the Italian Cavatapi wears the number 12 that Jimmy Vasser did in 1998. Which would he have worn in 1998, I should say. And now it went to Cavatapi. So it's a bit of a coincidence now that the two nationalities have a different number in comparison to real life. That's a bit funny, it has to be said. As now we have Danny Quinn in for up to 4th position. He has made the jump against Andy Graham. So yeah, it seems like Graham is not really that quick here at the moment, unlike some of the other guys. And Danny Quinn is squeezing every bit of performance out of the Swift car. And it seems to work out quite well. Still, the leading pack is quite close together, but Samuels needs to find a solution to make the move work. If he wants any chance to win the race, he needs to do it at one point. If he doesn't, yeah, that's all gone. Let's now move to Dustin Rolko in the Penske car. And he's quite close behind Aiden Carter, so it seems like Carter is either struggling with tires, or it seems like Rolko is finally getting the hang of the Lola chassis. As he's now right behind Carter, he's going for the right-hander. Is it good enough? Well, it doesn't look too bad. He's now going for the inside. They go side by side, both driving with a Ford engine. And it looks like Rolko's made the jump. He's ahead of Carter. And oh no! Oh no, he's rolled! And he's out! He's lost his rear tire! And he's out of the race! And it's surely going to be another caution here of the race. Oh, how did it happen? What on earth? Oh, that surely was a bit of a weird thing which went on. But yeah, the caution is out. And that's another spanner in the works for Jason Gabler. Now he needs to watch out even more carefully for next restart for Chad Samuels. And there's more. There's another car on the roof. And there's another car upside down. I don't know which car it is. So I hope there's a replay for that. Because what on earth did happen there? Oh my god. I mean seriously. Well, that's another caution. This gives us some more time to relax a bit, to get some more coffee or some soft drinks or whatever. You decide, you're the viewers, you decide what to drink or to eat. And yeah, that's all the advantage gone for Jason Gabler. And yeah, now there's more chances for Samuels to cool the car, to cool the tires, get him back into the operating window for the restart. Now let's go on board with Julian Schultz. What did happen there? And he did the same as Cavatapi did, and the car upside down is a Reynolds, and it has Toyota engine. So just a bit of trivia for all the Walker fans. And let's look at what happened to Rolko. You know, it's tough to call because, you know, it looked like Carter was just turning into Rolko, and this seemingly has caused the Lola to roll. But it was a very weird scene. I mean, it looked like a physics issue in my opinion, but yeah, this could have been prevented if Carter wasn't just turning in when Rolko was ahead. But yeah, really fortunate for Dustin. He was finally getting some good feedback from the car. Now it's all going down to toilet because of this incident. Well, we are in lap 36 out of 41. we still got a couple of laps to go until race ends, so there's still every bit of chance left for Samuels to make the move against Gabler and to get his first victory of the season. But of course, for Jason, the situation is the same. He needs to defend, and then he could claim win number 1 of the season. With Kasper Klein, of course, being thrown in the back, so the poleman from Fontana is out. Prix also being thrown a lap down even, so he will be even more out of this, and he has now no chance of going somewhere at least. And yeah, that's him out of contention, that's him losing out in the championship battle. And those could be the crucial points where, yeah, he might lose out at season's end. But generally speaking, his pace was that strong here at the moment. And even before the first caution came out, his pace was nowhere. So I guess it was the best weekend for Rahal, and they really need to regroup and to come back stronger in Buenos Aires. So I think now we should be close to restart. The whole field has closed up, as now Jason Gabler will once again lead the field ahead of Chad Samuels and Justin Peters, with of course the lap car of Johannes Mehle still being between these guys. And we'll see if the pace car will come into the pits now or will be another lap. But it looks like the safety car is coming in. Will it be? It looks like, yeah, the safety car's come into the pits, and the race is underway for another couple of laps. And there's already a gap forming between Samuels and the lapped car, so those might have potential for a win now. But now look at these front two guys, Gabler versus Samuels. Let's look if Samuels can close the gap and make the way past the Forsyth driver. But he needs to be careful, he has only got a couple laps left, so yeah, not many laps left to make the lunge and to make the move work. So he needs to time it perfectly, so he can't be counter-attacked by Jason as well. But it doesn't look like it at the moment. It looks like Jason's quicker at the moment. It looks like Jason is pulling away from Samuels. This is not good news for Chad, and it's also not good news for Chip Ganassi, who probably wishes for Chad to win this race. Just look at that, the gap from P2 to P3 is already quite large. So yeah, these guys are probably out of contention, and they won't be a menace for the race winners. So we go back to Harry Williams in the Patrick Racing car, chasing his teammate Sollington for 7th. This inter-team battle can be quite interesting as well. Also shout out to Carsten Vigaffa, who's up into 12th position and who would be able to score Peyton Coyne's first point of the season. It would be quite important for the backmarker team to score points. It's important for the TV money as well, of course. So if they keep it up, it would be quite a big success for the team. And also Jamie Metcalf up into P13. Not a bad performance again. And of course the highest placed Toyota driver, it's still Danilo Savnov in 15th place ahead of Milan Drees in the All-American Racers outfit. And so once again see Williams going side by side with Robert Berner had a look at Andy Graham, but there was no space there for an attack. What will it be? It's still quite close between these guys, so anything can happen, but of course they need a perfect corner exit, as now Robert Berner breaks very late there against Andy. It nearly ended in tears, it has to be said. And yeah, look at how close there. I think Robert is preparing for a move against Graham. But where? I mean, he needs to make his move soon, because otherwise there's no second chance there. He needs to make it stick. With 3 laps left to go, there's not much time left. Same goes for Williams against his teammate, and for anyone else trying to make a lunge against their compatriot or their rival. But what a turnaround for Penske after disappointing so much in Fontana. They're now up into 6th and are able to score some decent points at the moment. If they keep this up, if there's no technical issue for the team or for Robin's car, things are looking quite promising. As I think Carter's dropped down to P10. Yeah, he's dropped behind Robinson. So for Rahal, things are going downhill. And this is not good news for the team at all. And it's also, Mina Dries is now the highest placed Toyota driver. He's up into P15. He's lost a place against Savinov. Or he's won a place against Savinov. I'm so sorry about that. As now Klein. Klein went... Oh, he was looking for a gap there, but there wasn't any. And yeah, he has to yield for now. But he's clearly quicker against these Toyota cars. We're now 2 laps away from finish. And yeah, if anyone wants to make a move now, they need to do it quickly. Because, as I mentioned, time is running out. And yeah, these drivers are so competitive. We need to force their compatriot to make a mistake. Or yeah, basically barge their way through and send the others into tears. Depends on how they want to make their way through. It doesn't look like there will be any moves here. It doesn't look at all. They're all very disciplined here. They're not going to big risks. So it doesn't look like there will be any attacks soon. Maybe now they go 3 wide. Will be Kasper Klein making the move work? No, he's barging his way through, but there's no coming through. He has to yield and stick behind Savinov. So, white flag is out, 1 lap left to go for the German driver Jason Gabler. What a turnaround in comparison to Fontana. After struggling so much with the car, with the pace, and now he's up in the lead and he's dominating the final part of the race in style. Not allow any attack from Chad Samuels at the end, and yeah, he simply had the best strategy out of all of them, and he will be the one lifting the trophy if nothing goes wrong in the final sector, of course. But it does look like the car is running perfectly. The car is running strong. Tires are working well. The fuel is looking like there's enough fuel in it. And it just all works together like a clockwork. Final sector left for the German as he's now into the hairpin for the final time. In competitive speed, of course. Yeah, one more time through these tight corners, and he now has to complete this final corner one more time, and then he's done it. The first win for Jason, the first win for Forsyth this season, and the first win for a Mercedes powered car. Jason Gabler crosses the line, and he is the winner of the Foster's Grand Prix. I have Chad Samuels in second, and rounding up the podium positions will be Justin Peters in 3rd place. Well, it was a decent race, but unfortunately, due to the nature of street circuits, there weren't any nature passes, it has to be said. Yeah, unfortunately for us spectators, it has to be said, but there's still a car ahead of Gabler. He will be the last placed runner, but who is this guy? We have to find out, hopefully, in a few seconds. But it looks like it's one of the Akira Wells cars. It is probably Mario Wolf, judged by his sponsors. Yep, we move on to the car. And it probably is Wolf. Yep, it is Mario Wolf. And yeah, now look at weekend for the Toyota podcast out. Look at the tires. They're quite finished. Look at the smoke that's coming out there. So he's probably driving on its last legs. So really, tire management didn't work out for him. Just look how much he's struggling to even make it to the finish. But only a few meters left, my friend. Then you have done it and you've finished the race in 18th place. Well, disappointment for the championship leader Mbappé coming into this weekend. He will finish in 20th place. And that's it. Mario Wolf finished the race, and now we go to the race results. Well, now let's take a quick look at the race results before we end this program. We have Jason Gabler in first, of course, the German driver in the full-size run car. In second, we have Chad Samuels, a good drive by him. In third, we have Justin Peters rounding up the podium positions, followed up by the best Swift car in the form of Danny Quinn, followed by Andy Graham in fifth, and then we have the fastest Lola car in form of Robert Berder, who did an excellent job in the Penske. Then we have Slotterkai Soddington, Harry Williams, Duncan Robinson, Aiden Carter in the top 10. John Newhouse and Carson Novigafa scored the final points. Then we have Jamie Metcalf and Paul Moyer rounding up the top 14. Followed up by Milan Drees in the fastest Toyota-powered car. Then we have Danila Savnov in 16th. And have Kasper Klein, the pole man from Fontana, having a shock of a race in 17th. Then we have Mario Wolf in 18th. Followed up by the German Johannes Medes in 19th, who was a bit unlucky with the strategy today, but I'm sure he will bounce back soon. Then we have Emmanuel Mbappé in 20th place. And then we have Tommy McIntyre, the final driver who has finished the race in 21st. Then we have the 4 retirements in the form of Dustin Rocco, Julian Schultz, Stephen Sim, and Vittorino Cavatapi. And then let's take a quick look at the Drivers' Championship, when we see Chad Samuels, who took over the lead in the championship, ahead of Jason Gabler and Emmanuel Mbappé, who had a shock of a race here in Adelaide. Then we have Mario Wolf in 4th, ahead of Cavatapi, Graham, Peters, Quinn and Moya. Then we have Milan Drees still in the top 10, ahead of Kasper Klein. Then we have Robin Berder and Slotterkai Soddington in 12th. Berder getting to 12th place because of his 6th place finish. Then we have Aiden Carter in 14th place. Then with Harry Williams in 15th, and of Jamie Metcalf, who had a better result in comparison to Duncan Robertson. Then we have John Newhouse and Carson Novigafa in 19th place. Those were our point scorers so far this season. And then we have the Teams Championship, where Chip Ganassi took over the lead, and of Team Rahal in 2nd. Then we have Team Green in 3rd, ahead of Forsyth in 4th. Akira Wells Racing, and the best Toyota-powered team, took 5th place at the moment, and of Pac West Racing, thanks to Mauro Wolf's great result in Fontana. Then with Walker Racing 7th, Newman Haas get 8th, and of Patrick Racing, thanks to a better result. Then with the All American Racers outfit by Dan Gurney in 10th, and of Penske in 11th. Then with the Tasman Motorsports Group, and finally Peyton Coyne Racing. Moving on to the Engine Championship, where Ford took over the lead, and well, they have a 1-point gap to Mercedes at the moment, thanks to Jason Gabler's superb victory here in Adelaide. Then we have Honda in 3rd, and Toyota drifted a bit away from the top 3 engines, and we are stuck with 16 points and a huge gap to the top 3 runners. And then finally we have the Chassis Championship, where Reynard are extending the gap to Swift, who have got 16 points, and Lola start their point scoring with 8 points. Well then, it was an interesting race, and I can't wait for the next one, and I'm sure that the next race will be a success as well. We're heading to Buenos Aires for round 3 of the championship. It's going to be a bumpy ride, and I can't wait to see you there. So, enjoy the rest of the day, and goodbye.